Holy mackerel, it is official. Jasmine full of Crockett. Get to Crockett, that is. Her political career is officially over. The Supreme Court of Texas just voted 6-3 to uphold the redistricting of Texas congressional seats. Her and Al Geico Caveman Green are officially all over. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Hasta la pasta.
Win for Texas. The Supreme Court allows the Lone Star State to use the Trump-backed congressional map in its midterm elections. Governor Greg Abbott writing this: Texas is officially and legally more red. This is a victory for Texas voters, for common sense, and for the U.S. Constitution. They could get up to 5 seats in theory. Let's bring in Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett. Greg?
There was little credible evidence that Texas had actually redrawn their congressional map based on race, which obviously would be a civil rights violation. And the ruling is consistent with what the High Court said in 2019. We will not intervene in cases of partisan gerrymandering, only in cases where, states have conjured up district boundaries for largely racial reasons that are discriminatory. And in fact, there was evidence that the previous map was racially motivated and that the new map corrected that constitutional defect. So, as you point out, Brian, this ruling has the potential to flip 5 Democrat-held seats in Texas to Republican next year, and it may actually clear the path for other states to do the same. Blue states and red states, as long as race is not a factor.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? How many of you thought, like I did, that Jasmine full of Crockett, Miss Ghetto Crockett, was actually cheated? Somehow she sniveled and sleeked her way in there like all these slimy, disgusting, backboneless, spineless, deceptive hypocrites. How many of you thought, like I did, that there was no way in a million years that she actually earned her seat? This woman is so vile, so full of fraud. If you're like that, let me know in the comments down below, because I know I did. I want to share this from Ken Paxton. This is, by the way, huge news for America. This is such good news for America. And I've got more coming, so stick around. But Ken Paxton, the Attorney General for Texas, says, I successfully protected the big, beautiful map in SCOTUS in the face of Democrats' attempt to abuse the judicial system to steal the U.S. House. I have defended Texas's fundamental right to draw the map that ensures we are represented by Republicans. This is so absolutely amazing. She is finished. Now she can actually run for re-election. And I encourage you to do, though, Jasmine Ghetto Crockett, because there is no way in a billion years you will ever win again. Now you have to see what me and all the rest of Americans have to do. We have to actually earn our spots through a meritocracy system, through the free market, the free enterprise system, where you actually compete logistically with other Americans. And believe you me, in a meritocracy, the best person for the job that gets the seat is definitely not you. Hallelujah. Amen. Jasmine Crockett issued a race hate-filled statement as per the usual. She said, while today's decision from the Supreme Court is disappointing, it's not shocking coming from a MAGA-influenced court. Here's the bottom line. Texans are now being told to vote under maps that a panel of 3 federal judges right here in Texas said were drawn to weaken the voices of Black, Latino, and minority communities. Notice how it's always about race with her. It's always about race with Democrats. It's always fear-mongering, demagoguery. It's always identity politics. It has nothing to do with substantive, actual policies and solutions. You know why? Because they got goose egg, nada, zero, nothing. Those findings still stand. The Supreme Court simply pressed pause, allowing these maps to be used for the 2026 election cycle while the case continues. Let's be clear. She always says this. The Supreme Court did not say these maps are fair. They did not say these maps are constitutional. They did not undo what the lower court found. All they did was allow maps that the lower court flagged as discriminatory to stay in place for now. To every politician celebrating this decision, woo, I'm celebrating, girl. Let me offer a word of caution. Don't get too comfortable. Oh, she's so tough. I can just see those eyelashes fluttering, can't you? Those gigantic bat wings on her eyes. These maps were drawn like political Russian roulette, slicing districts, tightening margins, and assuming voters wouldn't fight back. When you push district lines this far, yada, 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 you risk losing the very seats you blah, 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 blah. This is unbelievable good news. Here's the actual judge's notice right here. Respondents in this case challenged the new Texas map, that's Crockett and them, contending that the legislator's motive was predominantly racial. Based on our preliminary evaluation, Texas satisfies the traditional criteria for interim relief. Thank you, Supreme Court of the United States. This is such a monumental win and a message to all DEI hires. You need to earn your spot like everybody else. But wait, there's more. Remember in previous videos, I was so upset at the ridiculous GOP in Indiana because they didn't have the balls to actually take action and redistrict like they had every right. Well, guess what? We got breaking news. The Indiana House of Representatives has just passed the redrawn U.S. House maps, which eliminates all Democrat congressional districts in the state. The state Senate will convene on Monday to have their vote. So keep up the pressure, y'all. Tap that thumbs up, share this with everybody. We're winning, America.
And I'm here to share an important update about one of my many important duties here at the DOJ, which is enforcing our federal election laws. Here's what we found so far. We've checked 47.5 million voter records. We've found 260,000 plus dead people enrolled in the state's voter rolls, which is pretty concerning. They're going to be removed with the help of the DOJ. And finally, that there are several thousand non-citizens who are enrolled to vote in federal elections. This is very concerning, and the DOJ is partnering with local law enforcement where appropriate to prosecute people who have unlawfully voted in our elections. Even one person voting who shouldn't have voted is one too many, because every citizen is entitled to one person, one vote assumption that their vote is being counted equally and only with other American citizens. We will not rest at this DOJ with the leadership of the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, until we complete this project and provide confidence to all American voters that the rolls are clean and the elections are free and fair. Thanks so much.
Can you imagine how long that's been going on? Where were you, DOJ under Biden? Where were you, Jack Smith? Where were you, Christopher Wray? Where were you guys? Where were you, Biden? Where were you, Kamala? You didn't do anything during your regime. How many illegal votes do you think were cast in the 2020 election? How many illegal votes do you think were cast in the 2024 election? President Trump was right. It was a mandate. It was a landslide. And it would have been a lot more if we had voter ID in place. Let me remind everybody watching and listening. This is the coup de grace. This is the gigantic atomic bomb. This is the crux of the entire debacle and nefarious actions of this previous regime. Kamala Harris, in the 2024 election, did not win a single state that required voter ID. Let me repeat that. She didn't win a single, not one. On top of that, not only did she not win a single state that required voter ID, she didn't flip a single county. As a matter of fact, Trump flipped a bunch of counties red in 2024. She didn't flip, which is the first time in history for a Democratic nominee, which is why she's throwing everybody under the bus, trying to salvage her septic tank of a political career. In her little 107 days book tour, she's throwing everybody under the bus, including Josh Shapiro, who said she's trying to cover her ass, and she's basically trying to sell books, which is right, which is true. The Democrat Party is in absolute tumult. But that tells you everything right there. And thank God, every American should be breathing a huge sigh of relief. We actually have the right people in place right now. We actually have people who care about America, care about the truth, care about getting things right, cleaning up our border, cleaning up our streets, making crime illegal again, making America the global leader it once was again, making America great again. And to top off this video, so everybody share this, tap the thumbs up. To top off this video, President Trump finally got what he deserves, which is a World Peace Award. And it didn't come from Nobel, but who cares? It came from the World Soccer Federation in FIFA in today's World Cup draw. Watch this.
And please welcome the very first winner of the FIFA Peace Prize, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Please. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. This is truly one of the great honors of my life. And beyond awards, John and I were discussing this. We saved millions and millions of lives. The Congo is an example. Over 10 million people killed, and it was heading for another 10 million very quickly. And it just, you know, the fact that we could do that, India, Pakistan, so many different wars that we're able to end, in some cases a little bit before they started, just right before they started. It was going to be late, but we got them done, and it's such an honor to be with Johnny. I've known Johnny for so long. He's done such an incredible job, and I have to tell you, you've set new records on ticket sales, and not to bring that up because we don't want to bring a thing like that up right now, but it's an awfully nice tribute to you and to the game of football, or as we call it, soccer, but football, and that is an amazing thing. The numbers are beyond any numbers that anybody, even beyond what Johnny thought was possible. I want to thank, by the way, my family, my great First Lady, Melania. You're right here, and thank you very much.
Boy, if that doesn't put a smile on your chest, I don't know what will, ladies and gentlemen. America, my fellow global citizens, I hope you have the best Friday and a best weekend. Obviously, we never stop working because the news cycle never stops. So make sure that you tap that thumbs up, share this with everybody, help us make common sense go viral. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Just in case you missed them, you can tap my face right here to subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss out. And as always, may God bless you, and may God bless the USA and all who defend her. I'll see you soon.